Thomas Weston stood in the doorway of the pediatric therapy room, watching his daughter Emma work with her new nurse. At 38, Thomas had built a thriving consulting firm, but no contract or deal had ever challenged him like raising Emma alone. Emma, 8 years old, had been in a wheelchair since the car accident 2 years ago, the same one that took her mother. Thomas had interviewed 12 nurses, each leaving after a few weeks. He thought the agency had finally sent Alison Parker, an experienced pediatric specialist. But the woman kneeling beside Emma, guiding her small hand across a canvas, was not Alison. She wore blue scrubs, her blonde hair tied back in a ponytail, and looked barely 30. Still, Emma was laughing, really laughing, for the first time in months. "Mr. Weston," she said, standing quickly. "I'm Harper Bennett. I think there's been a mix-up with the agency." Thomas tensed. "What kind of mix-up?" "They sent me to the wrong address," Harper explained. "I was supposed to go to a family on Maple Street, but I ended up here on Maple Avenue." When Emma opened the door, she was so excited about her painting session, I didn't want to disappoint her. Thomas glanced at Emma, who proudly held up her painting. "Daddy, look what Harper helped me make. It's beautiful, sweetheart," he said softly. Then, to Harper, "So, you're not Alison Parker?" "No," Harper admitted. "I should have realized sooner. But Emma said you were in a meeting, and she seemed so happy." Thomas studied her closely. "What are your qualifications?" "I'm a pediatric nurse," Harper said, producing her credentials. 5 years experience in physical therapy and rehab. Thomas scanned the papers. Her background was, surprisingly, stronger than Alison's. "The agency was supposed to send someone with intensive care experience," he said. "I understand," Harper replied. "I'll leave, and you can contact them." "No." Emma's voice cut through. "Harper has to stay. She promised to help me finish my painting." Thomas saw the determination in his daughter's eyes, something he hadn't seen in weeks. "Could you stay for another hour?" he asked. "Of course," Harper said. Over the next hour, Thomas watched as Harper worked with Emma, patient, creative, turning therapy into play. She helped Emma stretch her legs while spinning stories that made her giggle. When the agency finally called back, they confirmed the mistake. Alison Parker had been sent to the wrong family. "We can send her tomorrow," the coordinator offered. Thomas looked at Harper and Emma, heads bent together, laughter filling the room. "Actually," he said, "tell me more about Harper Bennett's availability." 3 days later, Harper became Emma's official nurse. Thomas told himself it was just professional. Harper was qualified, and Emma responded to her. But he couldn't ignore the change Harper brought into their home. The air felt lighter. Emma smiled more. Her progress accelerated. "She stood for 15 seconds today," Harper reported one evening. "That's 3 seconds longer than yesterday." Thomas blinked back tears. "That's wonderful." "She's incredibly strong," Harper said softly. "Physically and emotionally." Weeks passed. Thomas began to look forward to Harper's nightly updates. They'd sit in the kitchen while Emma watched cartoons, and Harper would talk not just about therapy, but about Emma's spirit. "She asked about her mom today," Harper said once. Thomas's heart tightened. "What did she say?" "She wanted to know if her mom would be proud of her." "I told her any mother would be proud of how hard she's working." Thomas nodded, unable to speak. Harper reached across the table and gently squeezed his hand. "You're doing an amazing job," she said. "Running a company, raising Emma, helping her heal, that's strength." "I don't feel strong," he admitted. "Most days, I'm just holding on." "That's what strength looks like," Harper replied. "It's showing up even when it hurts." Their relationship shifted slowly, from professional to friendship, from friendship to something neither dared name. One evening, Thomas came home to find Harper pushing Emma's wheelchair through the garden path. Both were laughing under the fading light. Emma reached up to touch Harper's face, and Harper knelt to hug her. Watching from the window, Thomas felt a truth hit him, terrifying and undeniable. He was falling in love with his daughter's nurse. The realization made him pull back. He became formal again, distant, as if pretending could undo what his heart already knew. Keeping their exchanges strictly professional, Harper sensed the change in him but chose silence. 2 weeks later, the agency called to say nurse Alison Parker had an opening and could take over Emma's care if the West family wished. Thomas thanked them and promised to decide that evening. That night, he sat beside Emma's bed. "Sweetheart, how do you feel about Harper?" he asked. "I love Harper," Emma replied softly. "She makes me want to do better." "What if another nurse came instead?" he asked carefully. Emma's smile faded. "Why? Did I do something wrong?" "No, honey. You've done everything right," Thomas assured her. "Then why would Harper leave?" she whispered, eyes welling. "She wouldn't go unless we asked her to." "Then don't ask her to," Emma pleaded. "Please, Daddy. Harper makes me happy." Thomas hugged her tightly, feeling the weight of choice pressing against his chest. The next day, after Emma's therapy session, Thomas asked Harper to stay. "Is something wrong?" she asked, concerned. "I need to be honest," he began. "The agency called. Alison Parker is available, and I'm supposed to decide if we make a change." Harper's face drained of color. "I understand. I'm not replacing you," Thomas said firmly. "Emma needs you. She trusts you. In 2 months, you've done more for her than anyone in a year." Relief softened Harper's shoulders. "Thank you," she said quietly. "There's more I need to say," Thomas continued. "Something I shouldn't, but I can't keep it in." Harper waited. "I have feelings for you," he confessed. "More than respect or gratitude. I don't want it to change your job, but I need to be honest. If you're uncomfortable, I'll keep strict boundaries. Emma's well-being comes first." Harper hesitated, then met his gaze. "Can I be honest too? Please." "I have feelings for you as well," she admitted. "I've tried to fight them because I'm Emma's nurse, but over these months, I've come to care deeply for both of you." Hope stirred in Thomas's chest. "So, what do we do?" "I don't know," she admitted. "This is new to me." "Maybe we take it slow," Thomas suggested. "Keep things professional during work hours, but outside of that, maybe dinner, a walk, something simple." "What about Emma?" Harper asked gently. "She already loves you," Thomas said. "And she's smart. I think she'd be happy if we were happy." Harper smiled softly. "Then I'd like that." In the months that followed, they built something careful and steady. Harper stayed Emma's nurse by day but came back 3 evenings a week as Thomas's girlfriend. They went on quiet dates while Emma stayed with her grandmother, movies, long walks, endless talks. Emma noticed the change and approved with joy. "Does this mean Harper will be here forever?" she asked. "We're taking it one day at a time," Thomas said with a smile. 6 months after Harper had walked into the wrong house, Emma took her first steps without help. It happened one Saturday afternoon. Harper was visiting as a friend when Emma let go of her parallel bars and took 3 shaky steps into her arms before collapsing into laughter and tears. All 3 of them cried together, Thomas, Harper, Emma. "I did it," Emma whispered. "I walked to Harper." "You did, sweetheart," Thomas said softly. "You did." That night, when Emma was asleep, Thomas and Harper sat under the stars. "A year ago, I never thought we'd be here," Thomas said quietly. "I didn't think Emma would walk again. I didn't think I'd ever feel anything but loss." "And now?" Harper asked. "Now I feel hope," he said. "Because of you. Because of the day you walked into the wrong house and stayed." Harper leaned her head against his shoulder. "It wasn't the wrong house," she murmured. "It was exactly where I was meant to be." A year later, Emma walked down the aisle as flower girl at her father's wedding. She still used her wheelchair sometimes when tired, but her progress amazed everyone. Harper wore a simple white dress, carrying wildflowers as Thomas watched her approach. He thought back to the clerical mistake that brought her to their door, the error that became their beginning. "I love you," he whispered. "I love you too," she replied. Sometimes the wrong person in the wrong place at the wrong time is exactly right. Sometimes a mistake becomes the greatest gift. The day Harper entered the wrong house, she brought more than medical skill. She brought laughter back to a silent home, hope to a weary heart, love to a grieving family. What began as an error became their story. And as Thomas stood with Harper and Emma between them, he understood something profound. Life's most beautiful moments often come disguised as mistakes. Love finds you when you stop searching. And sometimes, the wrong address leads you exactly where you belong. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell us in the comments about a time when a mistake led you somewhere beautiful.